Good day, everybody. Hope everybody's well. I am very excited right now because I got some new stuff that just showed up at the farm. I ordered this back in, it was when I was floating, so it'd be early November. And you probably can't tell what it is right now, and that's fine. But I ordered it. It came in a couple weeks later, and the guy said, well, do you want it right now? I said, no rush for it. What we have, I bought ditch assist for my dozer blade. I'm pretty sure I haven't shown anything on that dozer blade. I haven't even got to use it. Dad used it for an afternoon. He was just scraping up a road. So here's how things started. Last summer, I bought the dozer. And I started doing some digging, and I said, I really like the idea of the laser system. But lasers have limits and blah, blah, blah. And I started digging around, and I found this ditch assist thing. So I called Matt. I said, hey, it says on your website you sell this. What do you think of it? And he's like, I love it. And I said, well, here's what I'm thinking is I got some ditching to do. I'd like to use it to make, like to level things off here and there. And he goes, this is what you need. It's a little more money, but we can go cheaper on this, and I'll explain that. And this can be used for a bunch of other stuff, like if you wanted to do tile or you wanted to use it as a base station for this, that, the other. Anyways, Matt said, you got to get ditch assist. It's the simplest. It's the best. And I said, simple and best? Rarely will I turn that down. So, I'm not really sure where to start. But what this is, the idea is RTK base station. It's RTK assisted gradient control is what ditch assist is. So this right here, this is my dynamic dozer from Yanush Enterprises. Yes. He makes several different models. He actually makes some that are big, but they're fixed frame. I didn't want one of those. I do see the rationale behind it, but what I really like about this one, it's the max. You're not going to move as much dirt, but you're going to be able to do it in a different way that I think is probably more efficient. Primarily is that this has the ability to steer itself off to the side of the tractor. So this guy is what they call a 3-axis or 6-way blade, which is really cool. You see a lot of them on the front of tractors, which was something I had had thought about, but I kind of like this setup just a little better because we're able to jump it between tractors if we need to. But your axes are vertical, so which is what this main cylinder does. It just lifts or lowers the blade. You can pivot left or right on the blade, so you can kick it off to the side or that side, or you can tilt side to side. Anyways, we'll take a better look at her once she's out of the snowbank. So what I am looking at doing, hopefully not falling in the snow because I'm not wearing my snow pants, is to build a mount that goes onto that, but up and over that hydraulic cylinder, because that would pretty much give me the center point of the blade. That's my best bet to get to center. There's what I've come up with But when I drew them every one at a different angle. So those are my ballpark numbers. Alright, I gotta figure out, I should be able to get this out. We unloaded it off the semi by pulling it like it was a drop deck trailer where they could unhook the front, and then we just hooked the chain onto this thing and drag it off. So I know this tractor can handle it, but that was when there was no snow. I don't know, I would expect that blade might be frozen into the ground as well, so I'm gonna try and get to it. And I'm also not sure how many shear pins I'm gonna break, because the last couple of days have been warm. The snow's probably nice and crunchy and hard. So far it's a lot of clutch work. Well, that's about as close as I'm willing to get with the snow blower. But I am gonna try and get more out with the bucket just on the side here. And I'll go and kick. I'm pretty sure the hitch is about maybe 18 inches tops ahead of where you can see the hoses. That worked really well. Can't lift it. So the blade probably is stuck down. Let's give it a little bit of a tug. Wrong way. Oh, I think I broke my chain. Nice. Of course, the only chain I could find without a hook on both ends and that'll fit through that eyelet of the hitch is about 16 feet long. So, you know what? It's not the end of the world. It's just a pain to have to deal with all that excess tail. All right, coming up. See how high we can get her. I don't know how well this is gonna work. Just plowing snow. And yep, my ass end's getting light. Maybe we'll just have to keep on bumping it. Woo! Come on! Back! So close. It'd be nice if that stuff would drop. Yeah, like that. Come on! Woo! There we go. Get off of there, you bastard. There. We got her. We'll just spin her around here. We'll we're fine. We're fine. There, that seems like a pretty good spot right there. Okay, I'm not sure if I perfectly nailed the height, but it can't be off by very much. May change that. I might just drill a second hole down here just to be safe. I can't be off by very much. But I do think I am a little bit low on the front end. I'm going to start dressing this up with cords and cables and whatnot and parts, just so I get an idea where things are going to run. I'm actually very happy with this kind of height clearance that I got. And where it is right now is pretty much the absolute max that it's going to be. So my GPS is probably a couple inches further back than I would have hoped. I guess I went off the top and it is almost perfect. Like, it's got to be within 3/4 of an inch of the top of this blade. I just didn't realize that the bottom was swept out a little further with that the bolt-on cutting edge there. I still think it's close enough that it won't matter. So this right here, I'm kind of planning that if I can mount it and tie it up there, that's a pretty good spot, because then I can undo this and that and take that off and run a tile plow or something else if I need to. Having said that, this particular cable, you'll see it splits into 3. And let's go around the other side. So it splits into a data port, which I'll talk on in a second, a power source, which I believe I need, and a switch. Now, this seems a little fishy to me because there's not enough cord to get all the way to the cab of the tractor. You could definitely get all the way to battery power, and I'm thinking that the instructions that were in there that are kind of a little bit vague, but they say like, oh, this goes to a battery. It said somewhere. Maybe I ripped that tag off. But this is power in. And I'm not going to change anything just yet until I have Matt or Jeff out here and they can let me know for sure. But I suspect this goes to the back of a display. This is designed to get mounted in cab somewhere because, like Case and others, I know for sure Case uses these square ones that you can insert and then just have a switch on your dash, which I like, is well thought out, as well as battery power. So I think that they probably have, I was thinking that they were missing a converter cord from this to the ditch assist, but I think it needs to be a whole different cord that just has power and a different comms thing, so that, and it'll probably be one of these 8-pin Deutsch clips that goes into there. So obviously not wiring anything permanent right now on the Outback, because I think that main cable that forks off into 3 here is going to get changed out, is my suspicion. All right. So one thing I am thinking of is we've got lots of cable for this guy. This is my priority valve. I haven't quite figured out the valving for it yet, because it's got to come, I think it's got to tee into these two, because these are our supplies. So how it tees in and feeds, and then it's got to tee back into these two, that's going to be interesting, because I need to be able to either run it I need to run height on the ditch assist or height on manual and still be able to do all of my other fun shit. So that's going to be probably the trickiest part of the whole situation, is figuring out the proper plumbing for it. Well, we got ourselves a minor hiccup. Problem is, it would have been a lot cheaper had I picked up on the problem on Friday afternoon. So let's go back to Friday afternoon. I went and I got some hoses made up. Instead of using the ones that came with it, I got shorter ones made up. I'll keep the others as spare, rather than chopping off and re-ending and then having a mismatch ends or shit like that. I just, to hell with it, we'll get exactly what we need. Well, we don't have enough or the right parts to make things work as they are, as things are rigged up, because, you know, we got ORB here, we've got pipe thread here, and I've got JIC here. So I'm gonna run down to Wiltec in Estevan. They are pretty much the main hydraulic distributor for the area. All right, got our bag of goodies. Got things figured out. We're gonna start assembling, and hopefully things line up. All right, so we've got everything manufactured, most of the stuff wired. Unfortunately, I still don't have the right cable to connect the ditch assist to the Outback here. Actually, I believe it will be here and just a couple of different ends. I don't think this switch will be here, and I don't think this serial bus will be here, but I do think this power cable will be there, and then this guy, and possibly a third one that might have a plug in it, minor. So I haven't, I got some grease on that guy. I haven't finalized anything. It's just, well, I bolted that in. So I've literally done everything I can do to this for the moment until I have that correct cable. And then once I've got the cable, I'll make sure I can tie. In reality, I probably could tie the power cables together and into there. I still might. I'm probably just going to run some 14.2 out of there and follow it. We shall see. First thing you'll see is the ditch assist module. This is the communication module, so it sends either Wi-Fi or Bluetooth to the tablet that's going to be mounted in the cab, and it controls this priority valve. This priority valve, you'll see if you follow my hydraulics. Now you'll notice I have 4 different functions on this guy. I have lift up or down, blade tilt one way or the other, frame tilt one way or the other, and I have the ability to swing the casters out to each side. So it should take 4 hydraulics, and really it does, but at the same time it doesn't. I've only got two hydraulics coming in, and one's always going to be pressure, one's always going to be return. It runs to this set of priority valves, which was factory installed by Yanush. And this is electric over hydraulic. I have a little joystick to control stuff. It's pretty slick, actually. I will show that once we get everything done. And I've teed off of the pressure, which is this guy, and the return. It says T. I don't know what T stands for, but we have P and a T. I'm calling P pressure. P from this side is teed off, goes to P on this side. T on this side, same thing. And then these are our control lines, and they just get flow directional one way or the other. This guy runs to there, which is your lift. I think, yeah, looks like I got these on backwards, but worst case scenario, I flip these two. Best case scenario, all I have to do is swap these electrical connectors. One says hydraulic lower, one says hydraulic raise. So they're teed in. Everything went fairly clean. That one was really hard to do. Actually, that was the first one to do. This one was kind of hard. You just had to do it in order. Anyways, it's a really simple solution. I quite like how I've got everything laid out. I like it a lot more once I'm going to be able to kind of zip tie some stuff together, clean up the cables, make it look good. I'm pretty finicky when it comes to trying to make things look factory. So how this system works, one of these hoses will always have pressure in it. One will always be a return. As you do a call to a function, whether it's raise, tilt, I don't know. I could easily figure out which every one is, but I don't really care to. Whatever function I call for, it still takes pressure in one way and allows it to go to a certain hose and return back to the other side. So pressure's always on this side, and then a function is gonna, a solenoid inside is gonna function and allow flow to go. Let's use this as an example. If I want to raise, it's going to add pressure to this side, so flow is going to come through here. It's going to return through this guy, and the way the valving is inside, that little shuttle is going to go, and it's going to allow pressurized fluid to go one way into this, out, and return this way, and it's going to return out this line back to the tractor. And what I've done is I've piggybacked off of that to install this other solenoid valve. P and the T is all the same. I've teed off into the hydraulics, the hydraulic function, which is just the raise and lower. The only thing is whether I've got the raise and lower on the right side. And if I got it wrong, I got a 50% chance of getting it right. If it's wrong, all I got to do is flip this guy to that side and vice versa. Pretty excited to get to use it. Hopefully in the near future that last cable shows up and I can take it out. I'll probably hook onto it with the old 2375 and get out. Maybe I'll go play in the snow, just see what kind of grading I can do with it. Might even just scuff up the yard here a bit. I would really like it to come fairly soon. Not that I necessarily need it, but I think it would be fun to play with. We'll see. I've got other projects on the go. Like I said, I can run this without it. I would like to play with it. I'd like to show you guys how it works. And I'd like it here early enough that if we have the right conditions in the spring, I can go out and clean up some runs and get some good grade going so that we can seed through them. So I'll strip back the dirt, probably 20-30 feet on either side. So probably 2 swipes, I think I'll do as a bottom, and then I'll swipe another pass or 2, and then I'll just go and I'll grade and I'll play with it, and then I'll backfill the dirt nice and clean. And if we can seed through it 1 year, we're set. It'll hold, the roots will hold for many, many years, unless we have torrential flow, in which case we'll go back and fix it.